Imagine a name whispered with fear across the Americas. A name painted on walls in graffiti, feared in prisons, and spread like a shadow through neighborhoods from El Salvador to Los Angeles. That name is MS-13, short for Mara Salvatrucha, one of the most violent and infamous gangs in the world. While some people think of gangs as groups of rebellious youth, MS-13 is far more than that. It is a transnational criminal organization built on brutality, loyalty, and fear. And if you have ever wondered what someone would face before even thinking about stepping into their world, this story will show you. It is not an invitation, it is a warning. MS-13 was born in the streets of Los Angeles during the 1980s. Refugees fleeing the brutal civil war in El Salvador found themselves in tough neighborhoods where survival meant forming groups. What started as protection soon turned into violence, as young men hardened by war brought their battlefield mentality to the streets of America. Over time, MS-13 grew, spreading not only in Los Angeles but across Central America, where poverty and weak governments gave them room to thrive. The first thing you must know is that MS-13 is not just a gang, it is a culture of fear. Members are bound by rituals, by codes, and by an expectation of violence. To join, a recruit often faces a brutal initiation called the 13 seconds. It is exactly what it sounds like, 13 seconds of a savage beating by existing members. 13 seconds can feel like an eternity when fists and boots come from all sides. For many, this is the first taste of pain, loyalty, and survival in a world where violence is the only language. But the beating is not the end. In many cliques, recruits are required to prove themselves further. Sometimes that means committing robbery. Sometimes it means an act of extreme violence. In the twisted logic of MS-13, blood cements loyalty. Once you spill it, you are marked forever. You cannot walk away. Your life, your choices, your future are no longer your own. You belong to the gang. The second thing you must know is the role of tattoos. The letters MS, the number 13, or elaborate designs often cover the faces, necks, and arms of members. These tattoos are meant to show loyalty, to terrify rivals, and to make a person instantly recognizable. But they also carry a curse. In many countries, tattoos linked to MS-13 mean instant police suspicion, lost job opportunities, and the inability to ever live a normal life. What was once a badge of pride becomes a permanent prison. MS-13 operates with military-style structure. Small groups called cliques control neighborhoods, collect extortion money, and enforce the gang's rules. Above them are leaders, some imprisoned, yet still commanding operations from behind bars. Orders flow down, and disobedience is not tolerated. If you fail, you risk death. If you betray, your own brothers will hunt you down. Fear is both the glue and the weapon of the gang. The third thing you must know is how MS-13 sustains itself. Extortion, drug trafficking, weapons, and smuggling are just the beginning. In communities where the government is weak, MS-13 becomes the law. They collect taxes from small businesses, they decide who lives and who dies, and they trap entire families in a cycle of fear. Refusal to pay or cooperate can end in tragedy. For ordinary people, MS-13 is not just a gang, it is a shadow government. Life inside MS-13 is not glamorous, it is constant paranoia. Police and rival gangs are always hunting you. One wrong move can make you a target. Violence is not occasional, it is daily. Members live with the knowledge that their average lifespan is drastically shortened. Most will never grow old. They will die in prison or they will die on the street. And yet recruitment continues, fueled by poverty, broken families, and the false promise of belonging. What you must also know is that leaving MS-13 is nearly impossible. Walking away is seen as betrayal. Many who try are hunted down. Some escape only by entering witness protection programs, moving across borders, or finding sanctuary in distant countries. For most, once you are inside for life. And that life is brutal. Governments have declared war on MS-13. In El Salvador, mass arrests have filled prisons with thousands of members. In the United States, federal crackdowns target their leadership, and yet the gang survives, adapting like a virus. It thrives on fear, poverty, and chaos. For every member locked away, another young recruit steps in, convinced it is the only path left for him. So, if you ever thought about MS-13 as some kind of rebellious brotherhood, think again. It is a machine built on violence, where your body and your soul are consumed by the gang. There is no freedom, there is no honor, there is no future. Only fear, control, and death. And perhaps the most important thing to understand is this. The only way to truly survive MS-13 is never to step into its shadow. Because once you enter, there is no turning back.